What's going on, Cougar fans? I'm Dave Daimling here, accompanied by the women's basketball coach, Coach Lauren. How's it going?
I'm all right. How are you?
Pretty great. Before we kind of get into what's going on and what happened yesterday, I want to talk about a little bit more about CIT. Kind of give me the rundown for someone who doesn't fully know what that environment's like. What was it like up there in Ann Arbor?
It's special, I think there's something about that. There's nothing else like it. A lot of times when you're competing at a high level, even at any level, you're not going to see crowds like that until you get into like your championship stuff, or if you're obviously like that top one or two team in different levels and stuff. So you go to different tournaments over the course of the year, whether that be near or far, and they're usually over breaks. You don't get that type of crowd, and so to see that crowd and play in front of it and that experience for our team, there's nothing like it. It's special. It really is.
That's awesome. So it kind of just gets everybody, the juices flowing, get a whole extra adrenaline rush a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's such a Concordia history, like the Concordia history in it, and for me personally, my college coach, and then he used to be my boss where I came from. He coached with the Concordia system for several years, and I think he won like 9 or 10 of them. Never told me, but when I looked at this job, he was like, "Oh, CIT," and he lit up. And then when I got here, I was told, "You're not going to be able to hear yourself think." And my first one was Ann Arbor, and I walked out and I got the chills, and I couldn't hear it. Like, we had to do hand symbols, and it taught us a lot how to play in an environment like that. But not to mention what it means to the people, the alumni that have gone to Concordia, all the years, all the history. I mean, it just speaks volume to when something's truly special, and that annual feel of that look coming up. Our girls get excited for it. It kind of be treated, our teams here are treated differently. They get to do that banquet. They get to get dressed up. They get to hear words from the pastor that can impact their lives forever, and then to go out and play in that court. I mean, all the experience kind of has a shape on them for their future, which is really nice.
That sounds incredible. Hopefully we can continue that legacy and just continue in years to come. But
rumor is.
Yeah.
Hopefully. ... So yes, we are hopeful, and we're going to pray for it, because it is something that I think the programs that are invested and involved and want to continue it on really want to do and keep making special.
Okay, sweet. And then Cougar fans, of course, they can have their own impact by trying to make sure that stays alive as well.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll move on to the big win against Dominican, kind of get that tough stretch out of the way, and now climbing back up the hill. What does that kind of do for the program and sets the sights for the future? What does that kind of do?
So there's a lot of good energy headed now to CIT. We did some really nice things, and in our last couple games, you can see that our percentages have been going up. Our team camaraderie is just something special. I love the girls. They love each other, and so you knew they were going to get what they earned and they deserve it. And as much as that didn't translate to wins yet, it did last night, and that was so for them. That was such a teamwork type of win. Everybody got in who could get in, and if they didn't, they did something that supported us, and that's what the embodiment of playing a team sport is to see what our ladies did last night in that environment. I mean, they had to battle through the game too, up, down, and I think we only led for about 3 minutes, but we'll take those 3 minutes and get the W. So I'm super proud of the girls for sure.
Of course, yeah. It looked like it was a complete effort from both sides of the ball, just super fluid overall. It was an important win in the Division Street rivalry.
Oh, yeah. And so we're hoping to make the Division Street rivalry like kind of what it once was. I hear that was a really big thing, and I know my first few years it was, and then COVID kind of happened. So I think, going into next year too, it's not going to have the CIT feel, but it's definitely going to have that big rivalry feel. And we had a good crowd there yesterday, a lot of Concordia fans, a lot of support just from staff, and just having our families there again. That's, we love that. We love our support that we get. It's cool.
Awesome. And then kind of want to highlight a couple individuals. Kalia, she's kind of second in points per game in NAC play, and then Allie McGregor is up there in rebounds. She's third in rebounds. Kind of how important are those players on a nightly basis, and how much are they going to help your push as you kind of get through the second half of conference play?
Funny you said push, because I was going to say push-pull, right? For everything Kalia does, someone else has to do something. And so knowing that we're all interlinked in understanding our roles and being the role that we're asked of, Kalia understands her role. She's maturing as a sophomore. Allie is a senior. She's on the other end of it. And so each one of these games is kind of one of those last games for her. So that's that push-pull in between, your mentorship and your younger players. But also, Kalia approaches the game in a very positive manner. She has a big passion for the game, and then you got that from your senior and Allie too, who knows her role. I mean, she had a big shot going down the stretch, shot it with confidence. That's a senior type shot, and then that guides again for that push pull for Abby and Courtney and other people in that post position to know, okay, like that was cool, calm, and collected. I'm going to keep pushing her. We're going to keep working harder, and we're all going to get better here. So I think that's that understanding of for equally. It's kind of like Newton's third law, right? But I'm not great in science. But for every force there's that equal and opposite reaction. And so to see that happen and shape in our team is really important, but also shows a lot of maturity with our young group.
Yeah, that sounds huge. And then you take a look down the road, you got this home stretch of 3 games that look to be certainly winnable with Marion, Rockford, and Alverno coming up. Alverno is going to be that senior day. And then if you want to look through the rest of conference play, you don't even have to leave the state at all. You're going to have a ton of home games, and the farthest you'll go is Aurora and Rockford. Does that play an impact at all, not having those long bus rides? Or
Yeah, even looking at the schedule when we got it last year, it was, when you're looking at it, you're seeing a lot of long away games back to back to back to back. And whether you're younger, a veteran team or a younger team, it's tough. But being where we are, spending that time on the road, as much as it was tough during that, all that had to happen to get to we were yesterday, where we learned how to win. And so now having that experience, moving into games to come, seasons to come, and then being at home, there's nothing like that. We were saying yesterday, it's kind of like home, but not home, when we were there. So just enjoy this, enjoy that our fans are here, enjoy the support. And then just, knowing that we will be home and every game to us is winnable. We show up for the day and we work hard every day for the day, but nobody else played a game on that day other than our team and the team that we're playing, and that's what matters in the moment. Good.
So kind of taking that look to Saturday, what's it going to take to beat Marion at home? What's that going to take?
We already started looking at the things we need to look at as far as scout and, just things that they do. They're a team that returns a lot of people from last year's squad. They play a high-paced game, very guard-heavy. So we're coming up with our game plan, and today we're going to be able to watch some film from yesterday, and then have a good practice. And tomorrow we'll really get after it going into it. So again, it's going to take a lot of what yesterday was, and knowing now that level of competing and grit and passion and energy for those full 4 quarters, and holding a team after being on the road at CIT. So that's always a tough game to play, is your Wednesday after. And so luckily it was closer to home, but we kind of started off where we looked a little tired, we looked a little off, and then our best basketball was played at the end. We finished strong. We were on fire in the fourth. We scored, I think, over 20 points, kept them to 11. So I guess it's taken that momentum now right into Saturday. That's what it is. So, and we're ready for it. We're excited to be home. Not just home away from home, right down the street, play in front of our fans, a doubleheader with the men's team, and just, have that full-on support for our school here.
Yeah, well, good luck on Saturday, and that's all I got, Coach. Thank you, Cougar fans, for taking a look at what we got going on over here.
And his hat.
For any more information, check out the Cougar Sports Network, and you can find it all on the CU Sports. Excuse me. That's all I got. Signing off, Dave.
We'll put a link. It's fine. Thank you.
Cloud here on the Cougar Sports Network, joined by Alan Mateo as we get ready for another women's basketball game here inside CUC Gymnasium. Today's a special day. It's senior day. The Cougars are on a good winning streak now. We've got a lot of good things to be excited about, but let's circle back and talk about the winning streak for a minute. The Cougars struggled a little bit early on in the season, starting to find their groove now. What has it been that's helped the Cougars find their groove?
Well, you've been looking at a little bit of the three-point shooting, so I want to highlight. Only shooting 26% from the season so far, but the past 2 games, they have shot 44% as a team. That's been huge to their success and something that has been fundamental to their offense. That's one of their identities, I feel like, as the first Cougar basketball team, is establishing a three-pointer. And something that's been very successful for them so far throughout these past 2 games.
Absolutely. In addition to that, the Cougars have a great rebounder in Allie McGregor, the only senior for today. She's already broken a school record, and she's on pace to break a career record. Looking to do so tonight on senior night. She's wearing shirts. She's 14 rebounds away from breaking the all-time career rebounding record. Allie McGregor, a big name to watch. We mentioned some other names. They're shooting well, rebounding well. Who are some of those key players for the Cougars today?
Well, you always got to look at Kalia Reed, who was the second leading scorer in the NAC 6 game, coming off NAC student athlete of the week, but she averaged 20 points a game, so she has been super key into the Cougars offense lately. I also want to highlight Sadie Nemsakov, who has been, as we mentioned, with the establishment of the three, she has been shooting lights out of the basketball lately. Past 3 games, been shooting 7 for 9 from the three-point line, and last game shot 3 for 4 from the three-point line. So she's putting up a few several threes, but they're going in. And looking for her to continue that hot shooting streak tonight.
Absolutely. Switching gears a little bit, looking at Alverno. Alverno's coming into CUC on a little bit of a lull. They're having some trouble getting a win. They've got a couple new additions to the roster today, some new faces for the first time. What is it going to take for this Alverno squad to be able to come in and compete with the Cougars today?
They got limited turnovers. They are, safe to say, not very good at executing the turnovers. The last in the conference averaged almost 22 turnovers a game. It's just something that just don't have control. They have some decent scores. Tyler Nixon Boyd leads the conference in scoring with 17 a game. But if you're not able to control the basketball, if you're not able to just control the pace and able to be efficient with the ball movement, it's going to lead to trouble. And this is a team that has also struggled defensively with that, giving up 80 points per game, which is dead last in the conference. And you can only score so much, but you also have to stop them as well. So they got to be able to just play good defense, be able to limit the turnovers, for a decent chance to be competitive.
Absolutely. All right, Alan. One key to the game for the Cougars to win, and one key to the game for the Inferno to win. What do you got?
Well, for the Cougars, just being consistent. As we mentioned with the Marion game, they split it for a 28-point fourth quarter after having a really, really low third quarter. These are the things that kind of the theme with this team. They have shown spurts of where they can be a really, really good team, and then at the same time on the opposite end, be a really big bad team at the same time. They just got to be able to find that middle ground and be able to play their game, play their rhythm, and just be able to just stay through that the entire game. And the Alverno side, you just got to be able to just find consistency within your defense. Simply enough, the numbers show that it just has not been a great year for them on that side of the end. But if they are able to just tighten up on that end, they should be able to just come out with a little more competitive edge. It should be a good game.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, as we get ready for our senior day celebration coming up in just about a minute and a half, we're going to wrap things up here so that we can head out there and be ready for the senior day celebration as we honor Allie McGregor for all of her contributions as a 4-year senior. Alan and I will be on the call with you all afternoon, so don't go anywhere as we ready to get on the Cougar Sports Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cougar Sports Network for today's matchup between the Concordia University Chicago women's basketball team and the Alverno women's basketball team. We've got a good one inside Geisman. I'm Kayla McLeod. I'll be on the call with you, joined alongside by Alan Mateo as we get ready to get things underway. And Alverno wins the tip but sends it straight into the hands of the Cougars. Starting lineup for the Cougars, number 24, Kalia Reed, number 25, Anaya Hinton-Henry, number 22, Lindley Southern, and number 30, Allison McGregor, and number 4, Michaela Ellis. As a 3 from Anaya Hinton-Henry misses, but the rebound goes into the hands of Kalia Reed.
Good start there for the Cougars with a nice offensive board, trying to establish that three-pointer, averaging 18 three-pointers a game. So as we said in the pregame, part of their identity as a team, shooting the three ball.
Alverno coming in hot, getting bumped off the ball there, but ball's going to go down the other way for the Cougars.
I want to mention something important. It seems like Alverno is not starting their 2 best players in terms of points per game today, Shauna Nixon-Boyd and Gemini Ventura, both of which are averaging plus 15 a game. So we're going to see how this Alverno offense looks without those 2 present in the lineup to start today's matchup.
Absolutely seeing a couple new faces here for the Inferno, trying to get some new things moving and working. But we're still scoreless a minute into this game. Ellis driving in with a step-back jumper, her specialty, and that one's going to fall. And the Cougars strike first here on senior night.
It's always so pretty seeing her get to her spot, right?
Absolutely. That's something that Michaela Ellis, that veteran presence that she's done so well over the years with, as a pull-up 3 here from Witten is off the mark. And here come the Cougars in the other direction. Ellis with the ball up top, controlling the tempo. Cutting inside the lane. A dish over to Allie McGregor. No-look pass is good for 2.
Nice dish there from Ellis to Miss Allison McGregor. Getting her started early. Allison McGregor, 13 rebounds away from tying the school record for career rebounds?
Yes, 14 away from breaking it. A really, really fantastic feat. It was mentioned during her senior day ceremony that she already has broken records here with CUC. She broke a 30-year-old school record and a NAC record for single-game rebounds when she had 30 rebounds against Dominican in a triple overtime thriller a few years ago. So she's been a huge instrumental part of this Cougar squad the last 4 years, and excited to see her continue to push on in this final stretch of games. Obviously, everyone's hoping for that record to be broken on senior day. It's a fantastic thing to have, but she's got a lot of time left to be able to work towards that record.
Yeah, it would be great to see that, But there's still a good stretch of games, as you were mentioning, so even if it does not happen today, more than likely not, you will probably see over the next few weeks.
A good drive in for Kalia Reed after a great save from Lindley Southern. A heart and hustle play right there to keep the ball in motion for the Cougars. And the Cougars quickly have a 6-2 lead here, but a wide open look and a little fake from Witten doesn't fall. Ellis able to pull the board in. Cougars pushing fast. Reed pulls it back out. Settles for a deep 2, in and out. Lindley Southern grabs the rebound, goes up with it, but can't get it to fall, and the Inferno are coming down fast. Rodriguez-Ross on that push. Southern applying pressure, and it's going to stay with the Inferno. .24 on the shot clock for the Inferno. The kick up top. Witten shot fake. One dribble to the side. Actually takes the shot off the mark, but the rebound from Rodriguez-Ross gets tied up and eventually pulled away by Hinton-Henry. Ellis on the move, coming in. And takes that one by herself off the mark. Rebounded there by Braggs. Coming down quick. A 2-on-1 scenario. Kalia Reed swats at it. Misses the layup. But the Inferno are going to be able to pat the ball around. A great save there from Witten to stop the turnover. And instead, the Inferno are going to take a quick 30-second timeout. A little bit of chaos here to start the game. We've seen the Inferno on these really great fast-paced breaks, but struggling to be able to actually convert on it. And a really close call on a couple turnovers right here on top of the turnovers they've already had.
Yeah, it's seems like you were saying, Kelly, it's been really chaotic, kind of really sporadic kind of start to this game. As we were mentioning in the pregame, Alverno really struggles on the turnovers, averaging almost 22 a game, 436 coming into tonight as a team. And so you got to be able to control the pace. You got to be able to just slow down at times and understand that you got to play your brand of basketball. And can't give other teams the opportunity to be able to bounce on that. So the same thing with the Cougars. You got to be able to capitalize on these opportunities early on and just got to be able to control the environment for tonight.
Absolutely. So Alverno burning one timeout here early in the first quarter, but looking to reset a little bit. 17 on the shot clock. Cougars sticking with some intense pressure here. That ball's fed into Rodriguez-Ross and has it poked away by Abby Kulig. Rodriguez-Ross not happy with that no call there. Thought she was getting smacked around on the arm, but burned a couple seconds off the shot clock. Abby Kulig, another almost steal, this time called for the foul, bumps into Braggs a little bit.
Kulig almost seems like she did not agree with that call a little bit, showing a little expression there. It'll be interesting to see how the referees play this game in terms of the physicality, if they're going to let them, play a little bit, or they're going to bump into kind of the foul trouble that we have seen sometimes throughout the season.
Cougars looking to play fast and aggressive as a fast break layup for Anaya Hinton-Henry off the fantastic feed from Kalia Reed. The Cougars are looking in complete rhythm here early on. They're all playing very well in sync, and we're seeing that on those fast-paced buckets.
Yeah, I mean, these past two games, until before this one, on the two-game winning streak, as there's another steal here, they've been able to move the ball around.
Hinton-Henry over to Reed. Reed with the easy up and in, and yet another fast-paced breakaway layup. Those two have been a dynamic duo early on here.
Yeah, they sure have, and that's the one thing I wanted to highlight as well, is just the number of team assists that the Cougars have been averaging this year is only about 7 a game, which is not very much. And so far, they already have a few throughout, the start of tonight. And already with 3 assists, we're only not even halfway through the first quarter. And so that's a really good sign of the ball moving, very good sign of just the offense being executed. And like you said, Kayla, just, they look in complete rhythm.
Braggs with that 3 for the Inferno, getting things moving a little bit after a dry spell. Cougars, a little bit of chaos here in the early goings, but looking to come back under 10 on the shot clock. Ellis out up top, kicks over to Kulig. Kulig thought about the 3, instead pulls up from the free throw line. Can't get that to go. Nobody in to rebound, so dead ball for the Inferno. But we're going to see a substitution coming in as Sydney Nimsicant will replace Lindley Southern. (10-5) here with under 5 to play in the first quarter, as Braggs is bringing the ball down the floor for the Inferno, trying to direct some traffic. Cougars still sticking on this intense defense, and a pull-up jumper there from Braggs is able to find the bottom of the net.
Able to find her spot, directing the traffic, and just getting into her space. She's a tall girl. She'll be able to shoot her defender, so pretty easy shot there for her.
Ellis inside the paint, kicks out to Reed. Reed in the corner. Loses the ball on the dribble. Braggs has it poked away. Coming in quickly, a one-on-one with Abby Kulig, and Braggs is able to lock down that fast break layup, and Coach Lauren Martin is unhappy about that and takes a 30-second timeout after a quick 7-0 run for the Inferno has brought them back into this really quickly. The Cougars started off on a bit of a run themselves and were finding their rhythm, and quickly the Inferno showed that they're mean business too.
Well, it's really just been the Braggs run. She has scored all their points so far, 9 points, 4 for 6 from the field, so she has been their offense completely tonight. So got to be able to find a way to just get the ball out of her hands a little bit, make the other players on the Alverno squad beat you, especially with the limited bench it seems like they do have. You can only imagine that they're going to get fatigued throughout some points. And so, yeah, it's going to be important for the Cougars to just make sure that you're not getting beat by one person. You got to make sure that the entire offense is trying to get at you and make sure that they're spraying the ball around.
Absolutely. Braggs has been a quick, hot start for the Inferno, making the appearance here tonight. and getting things going quickly. She's not afraid of that fast break and taking it straight to the hoop, but she's proven she'll pull up from anywhere on the floor as well. So the Cougars really looking to lock down on shutting her down after this timeout. The dish from Ellis to Hinton. Henry rolls in and out.
That's a great pass. Great pass. Just got to finish.
Braggs coming down the floor. Pulls it out. Feeds it over to Witten. Back to Braggs. Braggs pulls. Can't get that one to go. Kulig with the rebound. Nimsicant looking to push the tempo a little bit, but nobody running with her, so slows things down a little bit, sets an offense. The kick over to Reed. Nimsicant thought about pulling three, instead dishes over to Reed. Reed will pull the three, and that one in and out and into the hands of Rodriguez-Ross. Inferno have a chance to do something there, but a little bit of miscommunication on the floor will result in another turnover for the Inferno.
Yeah, it seems like just a lack of just focus there, frankly, on the pass. So this isn't really still that the Inferno, besides Braggs, have been able to just get comfortable within their offense. And so, got to be able to find that adjustment and find that gear.
Reed coming down the floor. Couple of new faces out there for CUC here in Hannah Lopez and Grace King, but Sydney Nimsicott finds a lane, takes it, misses, and Braggs is going to pull the rebound and get fouled by Nimsicott. Cougars looking to play that aggressive style of play today. Cougars 2 fouls to the Inferno's none. We've seen a lot of jumps for steals. We've seen a lot of tie-ups. We've seen a lot of aggression out of this Cougar squad. They're looking to continue to make that intense approach as we see a double attack there, but the Inferno finding a way to stay in it and almost pulling that rebound.
You almost feel like with so far the way this game has been, it almost feels like the Cougars should be up by more than what they are. Great shot there by Hannah Lopez. They're getting open shots. It's not that, they're taking tough contested jumpers or layups. They're getting wide open looks, just not converting right now. So you can only hope for some optimism there in terms of the fact that you would think that, as time goes on throughout this game, that they're going to be able to start making these shots as, Alverno's keeping them wide open.
Another great tie up there from the Cougars and a look-ahead pass from Nimsicott to Reed, but that's that intensity that we were just talking about, the Cougars utilizing that dead ball on the sideline and forcing a turnover and then translating quickly on the offensive end, forcing the Inferno to be in a tough spot as Witten drives in and can't get that shot to fall. McGregor pulls the rebound, and the Cougars are on their way down. Nimsicott feeds it to King. King to McGregor, the kick out. A wide open Nimsicott from 3. That one can't fall, but McGregor with the rebound. Lopez looks to feed into McGregor. McGregor up and in for an easy 2 from Allie McGregor.
Really, really good pass. Really, really good pass. Saw McGregor had the matchup there. Get it over the shoulder. Let her go to work.
The pull-up mid-range from Braggs is no good, but an offensive board from the Inferno. And then a bit of miscommunication on the turnover, and the Cougars are running the floor. End up pulling it back out. Kalia Reed takes a step back 3, and that's good. Cougars moving quickly here. This went from a 1-point Cougar lead to a 10-point Cougar lead in a blink of an eye after the Inferno have gone 0 for 4 from the field in the last 3 minutes or so, as that one misses. Batted around a little bit, but Braggs ends up with it and is driving straight to the basket. Can't get it to go. Reed with the board. A little bit of a difference between the shot clock and the game clock, but Reed has that one poked away. It's bouncing around. A loose ball on the floor. Hannah Lopez tying up with Braggs, but at the end of the day, the Inferno pull it away, and here comes Rodriguez-Ross. Pulls it out. Witten takes the 3, no good. Rodriguez-Ross with the rebound, blocked by Allie McGregor, rebounded by Allie McGregor, and 10 seconds in this first quarter, a heave over to Reed. With 4 seconds to go, Hannah Lopez pulls the 3, no good, but into the hands of Grace King, and Grace King is able to put that one in at the buzzer. So Some might call it a missed shot, but it might just be a fantastic pass in. And the Cougars lead 21-9 at the end of the first quarter. So Cougars really running away with that, an 11-0 run in the last 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, no, that was really impressive there. Really impressive end by the Cougars to finish the quarter. And that's the thing, they were able to start finishing on those wide open looks. If Alverno's going to keep giving them to them, they got to be able to capitalize. And that was really good to see there. And Alan McGregor with 4 rebounds already to start. So looking good.
Well, while these two teams take a quick break in between the quarter, we're going to take a short break here on the Cougar Sports Network as well. So don't go anywhere here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, some second quarter action as the CUC women's basketball team is on a roll early, leading 21-9. The Inferno having a hard time stopping the fast-paced Cougar offense, and CUC showing no signs of slowing down. King with the feed over to Emma Nickerson, misses that one, and the rebound is pulled by Rodriguez-Ross. And a pull-up there from Braggs, no good. Grace King with some space. A pull-up just outside the paint, no good. Rebound pulled in by the Inferno. A little bit of a chaotic start to the quarter here. A little bit of back and forth, no real control.
Yeah, it's been a lot of just sporadic basketball so far.
As that three is good from Binford. Gets things moving and breaks the dry spell for the Inferno.
First basket score for Alverno that is not Braggs.
Braggs has been leading this team in more ways than one, and statistically it's showing as Nimsicott rains a three in. Inferno coming down. Another deep three, no good. Braggs with the rebound, up and in. Cougars coming down. Ellis with the ball outside. Over to Nickerson. Back to Nimsicott, who pulls for three. She's feeling herself, and she should be. Another three for Sydney Nimsicott.
As we were mentioning in the pregame, she has been absolutely on fire from the three-point range. Coming into tonight from the past 3 games, 7 for 9, shooting the lights out of the basketball from beyond the arc, and it's continued tonight so far. Really, really good sign. It seems like she's found her rhythm throughout, the tail end of this season. So it's good to see that from Sydney Nimsicott.
A good hustle effort there from Hannah Lopez, looking to pick off that pass. Instead does so, but steps out of bounds, so the ball is going to stay with Alverno. Couple of substitutions here. 11 on the shot clock for the Inferno. As the sideline inbounds finds the hands of Braggs low in the paint. Batted around a little bit, finding its way. Another deep two attempt, no good, and Hinton Henry's going to let that ball bounce out of bounds. Alverno not shooting bad when they're taking established shots. When they're trying to get a rushed shot off, we're seeing a lot of those chaotic possessions, but when they're able to kind of settle in their offense and take a controlled shot, we're seeing a lot of good success for them.
Yeah, no, they're doing that. Good shot there from the Cougars, from Nisicott. Good rebound. But, yeah, Kayla, a lot of it has to be just taking good possessions and being able to just be in a calm state whenever you're passing in. When they are taking those chaotic possessions in terms of where they're taking contested shots and almost like they're chucking it up, as it seems like. So there's a foul there on the floor. It makes it hard. It makes it hard to make good possession happen because you're not getting any rhythm going. You're just being stagnant for the most part, and just makes it difficult to just get a flow.
Easy bucket there for Hinton Henry, finding a lot of space for standing right in front of the basket. The inbound play kind of frazzled the defense a little bit, split the C essentially, and left a wide open bucket for Hinton Henry. But a pull-up three there is deep, no good for Witten, and the Cougars are coming down fast, and a wide open lane for Hinton Henry yet again. Gets things moving.
Kayla, something I want to emphasize as well. Just look at the assist comparison so far tonight. Alverno only has 1 assist on the game so far, while the Cougars have 11. And already beating their season average throughout the night, as there's another steal, good lay in there. And, I think that's been something instrumental, a big theme tonight. The ball movement has been spectacular to see.
Absolutely. The Cougars really using their speed and agility here, as we saw 3 Cougars down the floor with no Inferno in sight, as Nimsicott has that one poked away, and Ellis is on a roll on her own, bumped for the foul, but Ellis going to the line to shoot 2. The foul on Cozy, their first foul of the quarter, I believe their first foul of the game. And a couple of substitutions for the Cougars as Alina Paul and Courtney Schneider check in.
Yeah, a lot of points off turnovers for the Cougars so far, 11 compared to Alverno's 2. So taking advantage of those misplays Alverno has given them so far tonight, and has paid dividend. Huge lead so far as Kelly extends it to a 20-point game. And looking for them to continue that kind of aggression with their defense, as they're keeping them on their toes and just being physical.
Absolutely. Ellis at the free throw line now for the Cougars, the top free throw shooter for the CUC squad. Before those 2 free throws, she was at 10 for 12 on the season, shooting a little over 83%. So not surprising to see her continue to put those in. And the Cougars are extending their lead even further. A little bit of full court pressure from Hinton Henry. Looks like the Cougars are only looking to apply that pressure to Braggs, knowing the kind of intensity that she brings and how threatening of a scorer she's been. It makes sense to see that kind of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. She has been pretty much their only scorer, besides few other shots, one from Bifford, a 3-pointer. But besides that, Braggs has been their entire offense. And so getting the ball out of her hands is going to be vital for the Cougars to maintain that pressure, maintain that defensive upkeep that they have had throughout this game, and just making other players on this Alverno squad beat you, as we see it right there.
Yeah, a missed 3 there from Witten, but a really good effort play as she looked to grab her own rebound. But a deep 3 from Alina Paul, no good. A little bit flat, but a good look. And the Alverno Inferno are coming down quick.
That would have been one for the highlight reel right there.
Braggs takes that one in, and the rebound from McGregor. Alverno applying some full court pressure, frazzled the Cougars a little bit of turnover there, and Alverno has a fresh 30 on the clock. Braggs at the top of the key looking to do something. A step back 3 for her. No good, into the hands of McGregor.
I believe that is her 7th rebound of the game. The record is coming closer by each passing moment.
Something that's very exciting. You can see the Cougar bench getting very excited anytime that ball goes into the hands, as a nice little hop step there from Reed, and the kick over for a 3 from Paul. No good, off the mark. Rebound into the hands of Bragg. Alverno looking to slow things down a little bit. Bragg's taking some space. Has it poked away, but into the hands of Witten. Witten taking that in. Misses off the mark. Reed pressing the tempo. Pulling it back out over to McGregor up top. Hinton Henry feeds Schneider inside. The kick over to Reed on the backdoor cut is good for 2. The Cougars are on a roll, and the Inferno are going to be forced to take a timeout to regroup. It's going to be a quick 30-second timeout. And while they take a quick timeout, we're going to take a break here as well on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, 4:31 remaining in the second quarter. Cougars lead 37-14. And looking to keep things moving. A 13-0 run over the last 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Really kind of taking control of this game.
Yeah, applying a lot of defensive pressure and also just doing really well on the fast breaks and getting the ball movement going with everybody involved has been pretty fundamental so far for the Cougars. And, you know, it showed in the lead as there's a foul there on the shot. It'll be on Alina Paul.
That is going to put Braggs at the line. Coming into today, Braggs shooting 34 for 50 from the charity stripe. Misses that one.
Cool, imagine that. You're starting to feel a little bit of fatigue if you're Alverno a little bit with the amount of just lack of bench players that you have. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of strategies Coach pulls to be able to keep his players fresh.
As a nice, easy layup for Courtney Schneider, finding some good space inside the paint. As a offensive foul is called on Braggs with some tight defense from Hinton Henry getting things going. And the Cougars are continuing to dominate here. Reed bringing the ball in. Coming down the far side of the floor. Looks to get the ball into Courtney Schneider and has that ball poked away by Rodriguez-Ross. A great read from her. Feeds Braggs on the cut. Witten thought about pulling, instead dishes over to Braggs from just inside the paint for an easy 2.
Good pass there. It's a good pass. Saw the trap down in the corner, was able to dribble a little bit out. Saw that Braggs was open a little bit in the middle and gave her an easy look.
That's that good use of being able to take selective shots and being mindful of what you're taking and not throwing something up just because you feel like you have to.
Exactly.
As Paul, a one dribble pull up, no good, into the hands of Braggs. And the Inferno coming back down. Up top is Witten finding some space inside. Instead, dishes out to Rodriguez-Ross for a shallow 2. No good. Reed with the rebound. Cougars have numbers. Dishes over to McGregor. McGregor dishes to Schneider. Schneider up and in for 2.
Easy look that we like to see there. Really good pass there from McGregor, finding an open Schneider and give her an easy opportunity to lay it up.
Kalia Reed applying some tough pressure, almost poking that ball away. Rodriguez-Ross now on the wing. Driving in. Dishes over. Witten with a short corner look. No good. Rodriguez-Ross with the offensive board. Looks to kick to Witten instead, right into the hands of Schneider. Schneider pushes tempo. Reed into McGregor. McGregor up and no good. Braggs pulling away with that as we officially hit the 2 minutes left in the half. Braggs getting held up by a pack of Cougars there. Witten driving in and is going to get fouled.
Nice little aggressive take to the basket there, getting some good contact. It did Witten. He's looking to finally get some kind of points on the board for Alverno, as it's been just overall just a big drought throughout this entire game. Looking to get her team some points here.
Inferno, 1 of their last 10 from the field. Really struggling to get things going, so being able to put some points on the board from free throws here is key.
Man, you can only think, though, they're missing 2 of their best scorers. Obviously the leading scorer in the NAC, China Nixon Boyd and Gemini Ventura, 2 instrumental players on their team. Not having them has really paid, showed tonight so far for this Alverno squad, just not really having many reliable options besides Braggs.
As that one is tossed away from Rodriguez-Ross into the hands of Nimsicon. A pump fake there. Lindley Southern with the offensive board and put back. But some real good effort from the Inferno after the offensive board from Rodriguez-Ross on the missed free throw is what sparked that whole transition, and some pressure from the Cougars still high. As that one misses from Binford. Nimsicon pushing the tempo, feeds Lopez on the move. Kick over to Kulig. A pull-up inside the paint for Kulig, rolls in and out, and Braggs will come away with the board. Braggs finding space on her right side. Looks to split the defense. Gets the shot off and the foul.
Used a nice spin move there to get herself some space, and it's all downhill and just went. And able to take the contact, force it, and be able to finish through. Very impressive play from Braggs. 15 on the night.
And the Cougars are going to take a full timeout here to reassess. So while they take a timeout, we'll take a short break as well. But don't go anywhere, as we have 41.4 seconds remaining in the first half here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, CUC leading the Inferno 43-19 in the second quarter. Arlasia Braggs at the free throw line for the and one opportunity here as she completes the three-point play. And with 40 seconds to go, the Cougars are on the move. Nimsicon over to Southern. Southern taking a drive in with space on her right side, gets a shot off, can't get it to go. Kulig with the off-balance putback is good.
That's a really nice shot. Swinging off the back foot, be able to put it up on that. Took some really good concentration.
Cougars really just in sync across the board as Braggs takes another three and no good. Lopez with the rebound, swatted at there by Rodriguez-Ross. 5 seconds in the half. The pitch forward to Southern. Southern over to King. King for the last minute three. No good. Off the backboard. And that's going to do it for the first half action. So a big-time showing for the Cougars, really just in a good rhythm across everything. You know, we're seeing them with some intense defense. We're seeing them click on offense. A lot of good things happening for this Cougar squad.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And, you know, they have been able to capitalize on quite a few aspects, especially with the assists, 14-2 on the assist part for the Cougars, and also just capitalize on second chance points. Be able to take those second chance rebounds and be able to just create new possessions out of them and getting good shots from that. And they've also just been controlling the paint. 30 points in the paint is a pretty good sign. Seems that, you're getting into the lane, you're able to be physical, and they'll be able to finish. And so, this has been a really good half for the Cougars, and hopefully, be able to continue this in the second half.
Absolutely. And, looking at some of those statistical categories, another thing to note is that CUC is really utilizing their bench. They've got a real deep bench, and they're taking advantage of it. Comparatively, 18 bench points for the Cougars and 0 bench points for the Inferno. So CUC doing a really good job of sharing the wealth and spreading the ball around.
Yeah, absolutely. And, want to highlight Kalia Reed, who's already up to 11 points so far tonight, 5 for 7 from the field. And also, Allie McGregor up to 8 rebounds in that first half. So 6 more for the record. Hope to see that she gets it here in the second half. That would be pretty cool to see.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to have a quick break here for the CUC dance team, and then we will be back in about 13 minutes for some second half action. But stay tuned on the Cougar Sports Network.
Down through the ages, God has called and equipped people to make a real difference in the lives of others. To lead, to heal, to stand tall. For 160 years, Concordia University Chicago has been preparing the next generation of leaders with the wisdom, faith, and values to make an impact in the world, to share the gifts God gave them and answer the call to a life fulfilled by purpose and truth, to be living examples of what it means to live with Christ at the center as we serve others. Because at CUC, we don't run away from adversity, we go towards it. We don't shrink from our faith, we lead with it. We are teachers, caregivers, and musicians, scientists, pastors, and business leaders, unshakable pillars of strength and integrity who serve a cause greater than ourselves. And the world needs us now more than ever. Learn how a degree from Concordia University Chicago can help you be the pillar the world needs to stand for something greater. The only question is, are you ready to stand tall?
Back here on the Cougar Sports Network for some second half action as the Cougars currently lead the Inferno 45-20, and an early turnover attempt from the Inferno. Lindley Southern had the steal but took a couple steps in the process of it, so Inferno right back with the ball, just a couple seconds shaved off the game clock. But the Inferno needing to get something going offensively here early after struggling quite a bit in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was not a good half, to say the least, for the Inferno. Really, their only scoring option was Braggs. Arlacia Braggs, excuse me, as she finished with 16 points in that first half with 11 boards as well, so he's already up to a double-double. But only another person on this team has scored points at all. It was Rainique Binford with a sole 3. So they need to be able to find some other people to contribute if they want to have any opportunity to get back in this game.
As a little bit of a wild shot there from Witten. Kind of went astray and a little back and forth there. You can see Reed and Witten both laughing a little bit at the situation. But Cougars with possession now coming down the floor is Kalia Reed. Hinton Henry over in the corner. Kicks out to Ellis. Ellis gets the ball on her left side. A step back jumper for Ellis. No good. Rebound for Allie McGregor. Up and in. Good for Allie McGregor.
Good position in there. Able to get the box out and then be able to get in front and get that rebound. And that is another rebound totaled for Allie McGregor tonight, getting closer to the record.
Yes, McGregor currently 4 rebounds away from tying the record, 5 from breaking it. So Cougars looking to get her as much as she can inside. As she misses that one, Hinton Henry with the rebound and up and in. A little bit of a hesitation there for McGregor to grab her own rebound.
Yeah, she wants to shut it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Shut it up a little bit.
So here come the Inferno. Braggs bringing the ball down the floor. Driving in, gets tied up a little bit and is called for the travel before the shot. Braggs and Ellis were a little bit arm in arm there as she was coming in, but ultimately the traveling outweighed any contact that was made. So Cougars now with the ball. Southern up top, handoff to Hinton Henry. Over to Reed. Reed feeds McGregor. Reed for three. No good. Lindley Southern coming in hot, but Braggs able to pull the rebound. Slowing things down a little bit for the Inferno. Little back and forth action, but Witten able to hold on to that ball. Dishes over there for a shot and rebound from Binford. And ultimately that's going to be going down. So again, seeing this from the Inferno early on, playing a little bit frazzled and a little bit fast-paced, that having a hard time controlling that ball.
Yeah, still looking like they're not really anywhere near comfortable with their offense yet. Just look very sporadic still. And, not really, I would say, like a true focus throughout this offensive scheme as tonight. Really just, I would say, just no true purpose so far with their offensive possessions.
Yeah, moving a little bit as Ellis takes a step-back jumper. No good. McGregor with the rebound and the foul. So McGregor is going to be going to the line here. The foul call on Rodriguez-Ross. McGregor at the free throw line for CUC this season, shooting 12 for 16 from the charity stripe for a good 75%. Make that 13 for 17. In conference games. As she drains both of those free throws. Braggs coming down the floor hot. A little Euro step, no good. McGregor with a rebound. Coming down the floor, Nimsicott feeds Hinton Henry up and in with the off-balance, fast-paced breakaway layup for Anaya Hinton Henry.
Up to 10 points already tonight. She's had a good night so far. She's 5 for 8 from the field and being really well involved in offense. As there's a steal there for the Cougars.
A break up there from Ellis into the hands of Hinton Henry, and the Cougars have offensive possession again. A dish over. Ellis taking some space. She thought about taking the three, but realized how much space she had. Hinton Henry instead tries her hand at it. Reed with the rebound. Reed looks to feed Hinton Henry, but on the move and a little bit too powerful. So a turnover there from CUC.
Just got a little careless there. With this big of a lead, however, Cougars could afford to make some mistakes here, but still gotta play with some intent here. The game is definitely not over yet, so just gotta still keep that focus throughout the rest of this quarter, throughout the rest of this game.
Absolutely. As the dish there from Rodriguez-Ross is no good, and she's gonna get called on the foul. A little bit of a tie-up there. So we're gonna see a substitution for the Inferno. That is Rodriguez-Ross's third foul. So getting some things in motion here. The Cougars are coming down. Lopez bringing the ball down the floor. Ellis from the top of the key. Backs it out. Lopez back to Ellis. Looks to feed McGregor in. McGregor up and in for an easy two. Alan, that's something that the Cougars have struggled with a bit this season overall, is finding a way to feed their post the ball. And today we've seen them do a great job at getting that ball inside. And whether you get a feed like that where your post can score or you're just getting some inside-out motion, it seemed to be working for the Cougars.
It has. And, a lot of it has to do with the matchup size as well. Alan McGregor just simply outsizing her matchups. And she's able to get that easy possession over a lot of these players tonight, just because they're able to give it to her on the shoulders. She's able to just turn on the block and be able to lay it in. So it has worked great tonight, and it's led to the majority of their 17 assists, especially their dominance in the paint.
Absolutely, as Rodriguez-Ross tries her hand at a three, chasing down her own rebound. Allie McGregor instead gets it. And Cougars coming down quick, setting up their offense with a 57-20 lead. The Cougars really focusing on running through their offense and not just scrambling, as Lopez tries her hand at a three, can't get that one to go. McGregor getting bumped around. Inferno coming down the floor, setting the tempo a little bit slower, trying to slow the Cougars down. CUC's been working really well in the fast pace, and they're looking to break that up as Braggs is able to get that pull-up jumper from the elbow.
Yeah, I believe that is their first points of the quarter. And
Indeed.
no wonder it comes from Braggs, who has been pretty much the entire offense tonight.
As a three from Nimsicant misses, hits off of the top of the scoreboard. So a dead ball rebound that was into the hands of Allie McGregor, but unfortunately does not count statistically. So 4:24 remaining in the third quarter. The Cougars leading 57-22 here as Alverno's bringing the ball down the floor. A slew of new faces on the floor for the Cougars in this half. Keeping that same intensity as Braggs will try a three. No good. Offensive board for Binford. And it looks like we're going to get a foul on the Cougars. Nimsicant nailed for the foul.
Should be, I believe, her second of the game.
As the feed in from Witten is a little bit miscommunicated, but Braggs is able to recollect safely. 15 on the shot clock. Over to Witten for three. Blocked by Emma Nickerson. Picked up by the Inferno. A little scrappy rebound there. Nimsicant and Dominguez tied up with it and getting a little scrappy here in the final few minutes of the third quarter. Nimsicant off the screen. Driving in and is gonna get fouled.
Good aggressive take to the basket there from Nimsicant. And this will be her first free throw attempt of the game. Shooting on the season 73%.
As Nimsicant drains both of those. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Braggs bringing the ball down on her left hand, looking to break that space. Instead, dishes over. Cozy for three, no good. Rebound, Grace King. Lopez slowing things down a little bit, letting the offense set up. Nickerson feeds Kulig inside. Kulig turns, instead kicks back out to Nimsicant. Nimsicant's three, no good. And they're going to get Kulig for the foul on the rebound.
Yeah, a little bit of a defensive breakdown there from Alverno, leaving Nimsicant wide open. And she has shot the ball well tonight. Did not make it there, but those are kind of open looks that you got to keep getting if you're CUC here. And you got to keep capitalizing on those.
As a deep three, no good there, but rebound into the hands of Lopez. Pushes up to King. King backing in, a little spin move in the paint. No good. Rebound Braggs. Alverno has some numbers here. Feeds, looks for the feed ahead. Instead, a little bit of a miscommunication and a turnover there. Braggs looking to send the ball into Rodriguez-Ross.
As already Alverno's sixth turnover of the quarter. And CUC has converted on each of those turnovers, 6 points off those turnovers. So
Nickerson's three no good. Offensive board, Nimsicon in through traffic. She's going to get a shot up, but going to get fouled on the way. They're going to get Braggs on the foul there and put Nimsicon back at the line for two. As she makes the first one.
Up to 11 points tonight for City Nimsicott.
As that one missed, but rebounded into the hands of Witten, and they're going to call King for the foul. Allison McGregor checking back into the game. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the quarter, 60-22 in favor of the Cougars. Braggs bringing the ball down the floor, rejects the screen, driving in on her right side, finds some space, and gets the shot to fall. They're going to get McGregor on the foul, but Arlasia Braggs just absolutely dominating for this Inferno squad here tonight.
Yeah, I believe that will be her 20th point of the game. It's not made 21 there, but she has been having a really, really good night. And I believe that is
that ties the record. Allie McGregor tied the record for most rebounds. She's one away from breaking the record. And you could see that the Cougar squad is ecstatic for her, as that one is ripped away by Sydney Nimsicott. Nickerson fakes the three, instead pulls up in the paint. No good, and Allison McGregor does it! Allison McGregor breaks the school record for the most rebounds. A huge feat for the Cougars. You can see that the Cougars have stormed the court to celebrate. This is a massive feat for CUC, breaking a long-standing record. Allison McGregor adding her name in many ways to the CUC record book. The team has been very excited and waiting for this, prepared with T-shirts and balloons and signs, and it's a very special moment for the four-year senior of this team to have this, as Coach Lauren Martin grabs the game ball, signs it, dates it, and presents it with the team around her. Allison McGregor getting a handshake from Coach Ross of the Inferno and a big old hug from Coach Martin. A fantastic feat for this team and this amazing individual who's broken records on records for this program and will go down in the history books as one of the greats in CUC women's basketball. So Coach Lauren Martin burning a timeout to take this moment, but well worth it, as you can see how happy the team is around her.
Yeah, that's a really, really cool moment. Something really cool to witness in person as well. To be able to see a broken record in person, that is amazing to see. And she'll only continue to add to that throughout the rest of the season. So that number will only continue to climb, but congratulations to Allison McGregor. That's a great accomplishment.
Absolutely. And selfishly, Alan, as a former CUC women's basketball alum, it's amazing to see some great things happening in that program. And Allie McGregor has been an instrumental piece in the success of this Cougar squad over the last few years. So it's awesome to see that continue here tonight and the support that her team has behind her in breaking these records.
Yeah, she will surely be missed after this season. But, enjoy her for the moment here, and something that she will probably cherish for the rest of her life. That's a fantastic moment, and glad that her teammates are here to be able to support her through that.
Absolutely, as Kulig picks up another foul here. That should send Braggs to the free throw line, with Kulig picking up her third foul. Braggs at the line once again. Makes the first.
Something I want to touch on here, Kayla, is just the amount of minutes played from this Alverno squad compared to our CUC team. Nobody on the Concordia side has gone to 20 minutes yet, but on Alverno side, we have two players, almost 30 minutes a game, Braggs, Witten. Ross, and Benford all nearing that 30-minute mark. You can only imagine the fatigue has set in throughout this team throughout tonight. It's probably been a lot on their legs.
Absolutely, and still pushing on and competing with this aggressive offensive production from the Cougars as McGregor is able to pull away from that, but Lopez stepping on the end line. But, yeah, you see that difference in style of play, and you can see that, Concordia is really pushing the tempo, and Alverno is taking the opportunities that they have in control to slow the tempo down. They play a lot better when they can set themselves up, and obviously mentioning the fatigue side of it, it's hard to keep up with a fast-paced offense and defense when you are fatigued, so being able to slow things down, but Cougars still keeping that up as Nickerson with the steal finds the feed in, and McGregor gets that one up and in for two. 64-26 here as the clock winds down in the third quarter. Just a few seconds in between shot and play clock as Rodriguez Ross sinks that one for the Inferno. Shot clock officially off with 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. Lopez driving in, pulls out, sends the ball out to Schneider. Schneider to McGregor. McGregor pulls for three. Off back iron. So end of the third quarter and CUC leading 64-28, but a really, really good hard-fought battle between these two teams. And we're seeing a lot of good things from Alverno as well. They're starting to kind of sink in and get themselves to the free throw line. They're drawing those fouls against that aggressive Cougar defense. Had the Cougars in the bonus, so able to get to the free throw line. I mentioned a little bit earlier that they were having a hard time getting their shots to fall from the floor, but they were getting to the line and they were making them, and that's something that they were able to do in this quarter as well.
Yeah, and just still being able to give Braggs a lot of possessions where she was able to make a play, and she shot well from in the third quarter, 2 for 5, had 6 points, and like you said, she was able to get to the line, and when you're able to let your playmakers just be able to have control and be able to just simply play the game, it allows for a lot of good things to happen. And, it would be nice to give her some help, not have her just be the only one contributing. But you work with what you have, and, she has definitely made the most of her opportunities tonight.
Absolutely. Well, while these two teams take a quick break here in between the quarters, we're going to take a short one as well here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, fourth and final quarter action. And the Inferno starting off with the ball. The Cougars going to get a couple quick subs here as Ellis and Reed check back in. 64-28 here with the final 10 winding down. Witten looking to get the ball into the hands of Braggs. She does. Braggs, a little crossover, finds some space through traffic. Nickerson is going to foul her on the way up. Again, getting herself to the line tonight.
Yeah, was able to use that nice crossover move for herself up, able to find a lane into the drive, into the hole, and able to go up, took some contact there, but was able to get the call now, so she'll be able to convert here.
As the first free throw does not fall.
Braggs looking for her 23rd of the night.
And she gets the second to go, so looking to keep things moving there from the free throw line as Reed brings the ball down the floor. Looks for an open Schneider. Instead, that's going to get tapped by the Inferno, but sticking with CUC ball. Nickerson to inbound. Finds Ellis. Ellis finds Schneider. Schneider cuts in, finds some space inside the paint, in and out. Rebounded by Braggs.
That is her 15th rebound of the game.
Braggs crosses up inside, looks to get the kick out. A little bit of a struggle to get that one to go, but Nickerson with the rebound. And Reed's going to get called for the double dribble here. Southern checking in. Braggs bringing the ball up the floor for the Inferno. Directing traffic. Sends the ball up top. Reed with some intense pressure. Rejects the screen. Gets the handoff. Kick back. Braggs for three. No good. Batted around a little bit. I think it was in the hands of Southern, and as she was coming down, I believe it went off the head or the hand or shoulder of Kalia Reed.
Yeah, it looked like there's a little hot potato, a little bit. That's bounced off of her.
A little back and forth there. Laughter from both of them, but either way, Inferno ball as the slip is in for Braggs, and Reed was looking to intercept that, but caught Braggs on the arm instead.
That will be Kalia Reed's second foul of the game.
A three there from Binford is good off the inbound. A much-needed basket here for the Inferno.
Second three-pointer of the night.
Reed off balance, athletic shot, showing what she's made of.
It's a good way to respond there. Make a three and able to come back down, get an aggressive take, lay it in. Still good sign there for the Cougars, still showing that intensity that I've been showing all game.
Braggs picks up her dribble in a tough spot. That ball's poked away by Lindley Southern, recovered by Ellis, and a fast break layup here for Reed, up and in on the left side. 4-2. A little crossover there from Braggs, getting her way out of traffic after getting a little hesitation there, but the backdoor cut for Binford, no good. Rebound into the hands of Southern. Southern pushes ahead to Schneider. A one-on-one, Schneider and Braggs up and in for Courtney Schneider. Braggs, one of the only ones consistently running the floor for this Alverno squad. You know, we touched on the fatigue and the high number of minutes that a lot of them are playing, but she seems to be on her own in a lot of defensive situations.
Yeah, it seems like she's the only one getting back. As we see here, the only one back on the fast break.
As Ellis with a little stop and spin feed over to Hinton Henry. Michaela Ellis, stop playing with us.
That was a really nice move there. Nice little fake out. But yeah, getting back to that point, though, you can only imagine the amount of just fatigue that just set in on Braggs. You know, she is limply coming down the floor, not really moving with that same energy as she did in the beginning of the game. And, you know, it can get a little frustrating, you know what I mean, when you're really the only one trying to contribute, really the only one getting back on the floor, and not really able to get a lot of contributions from anybody else.
As Ellis and Reed with a little miscommunication results in a steal there for Witten. Ellis trying to slow things down a little bit, recognizing the intensity levels that they are at, and instead has that ball poked away. Braggs now outside the three. She pulls up for three, and she got it to go. A quick timeout here from the Inferno, but oh my goodness, Arlasia Braggs having a night here, lighting up the floor inside Geisman. But while they take a quick break, we're going to take one as well here on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, 6:04 remaining in the game. The Cougars 72-35 on top. So Cougars getting ready to inbound the ball here. Grace King inbounding. Lopez bringing the ball up the floor. Finds an open Schneider underneath the basket, and it's good for two. Cougars doing a really good job of finding some space inside the paint.
Yeah, Cougars up to 52 points in the paint tonight.
Alan, that's got to be at least a season high for the Cougars this year. I mean, I'd say we're probably getting pretty close on their season high overall, but in the paint, the Cougars have struggled a lot this year, so seeing some big numbers there is a great thing to see.
Yeah, when you're able to get the ball on the inside, it just opens up so many more options. You're able to open up the mid-range, able to open up the three-point game, because now you know that defense has to pay attention to how you're driving in, and it just allows for a lot more offensive versatility, so really good showing from the Cougars tonight.
Braggs with the rebound, coming down the floor with some intensity. Pulls it out, and a deep two, no good from Rodriguez-Ross. Lopez over to Southern. Southern taking some space inside. Back to King up top. King thought about a three, instead pulls out. Moving the ball. Southern finds some space. Lopez just outside the paint, fading away. Schneider tips that ball out, but unable to track it down is Lopez. So
one of the things I liked about tonight for the Cougars is just they play really, really loose.
Yeah.
You never really saw them really get tight at all throughout this game. They're in control and possession for pretty much the entire game, and you just saw them just play free, play loose, just almost like as if it is a game. It is a game, and they treat it as such. And you kind of wish that this is the kind of style they will continue to play out throughout the rest of the year, and hopefully this is a good positive sign that they can build off of, going down the rest of the year.
Absolutely. Alina Paul finding some space on the left side of the floor and getting that one up and in. Cougars on the roll here with 4 minutes to play in the game. A attempted three there from Binford, blocked, I believe, at the hands of Paul. Cougars coming down the floor. King looked at the cut, feeds Paul inside, the kick out to Schneider, over to King. King back to Southern. Southern taking the baseline, feeds it over to Schneider at her feet. Schneider kicks out to Lopez from the free throw line jumper, no good. King with the rebound, up and in for two.
Another second chance point there for the Cougars. Up to 21 on the game. And still, they're still moving the ball around, still getting everybody involved, and it's just still keeping a really good pace to their offensive sets, which has been good to see. They're not getting stagnant at all, which is nice to see. They're keeping that offensive pressure on.
Absolutely, as the Inferno have officially under 10 on the shot clock. A deep attempt from Binford, no good. Rebound into the hands of the Cougars. CUC slowing tempo a little bit. Looking to move the ball. King out to Schneider. Schneider for three. Have yourself a day, Courtney Schneider. The bank is open this late, if you were wondering, Alan.
That's a nice shot. That's our 11th point of the game.
Braggs coming down the floor on her left side. Looked for the cut, instead pulls out. And a turnover there into the hands of Lindley Southern. And we're going to see a quick substitution timeout from the Cougars that will put Emma Nickerson in.
And I believe this is the highest scoring game for CUC this season. Being able to break the 80-point mark. Really impressive offensive showing tonight for the Cougars as they extend
Emma
on that.
Nickerson, hello. Check into the game, look around, see some space, and take a three. Why don't ya?
Just keep on pounding it on.
As Braggs takes that one hard to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Schneider with the rebound. Paul able to keep it in, a behind-the-back pass, trying to keep it in and not give the turnover. Instead, puts the ball right back into the hands of the Inferno. A little pull-up here from Rodriguez-Ross, no good. King with the rebound. Officially under 2 minutes to play. King thought about a three, instead pulls out. Paul with a little outside the paint jumper, no good. Goes for the rebound, but tries to steer clear of foul trouble. A little off balance there. Braggs bringing the ball down the floor. A little inside out there, and she's going to get 2 free throws.
Yeah, she was grabbed a little bit on her way to the basket there, trying to get the move around, being held. And now this will be her free throw attempts 9 and 10 on the night for Braggs.
As she misses the first one. And misses the second one. The rebound into the hands of Grace King. King up top, over to Schneider. Schneider from the same spot, can't get that one to fall. And King is going to get called for the over-the-back foul on that rebound. A minute 10 remaining here in the game. Alverno with some opportunities here to close the game. Braggs bringing the ball up the floor for this Inferno squad. Coming in on her right side, she kicks out. A attempt for a three-point there from Dominguez, but a little too much movement on the shot fake is going to result in a turnover for the Inferno. Cougars bringing the ball up officially under the 1 minute mark here inside Geisman. Lopez slow on the ball. The ball was tipped, so Braggs keeping that intensity and effort up and gets the ball into the hands of Dominguez. Kicks out, and a good bucket there for Rodriguez Ross in the final minute of the game.
Yeah, good defensive pressure there from Braggs, leads to the turnover, and then out to a nice little possession shot there in the mid-range for Ross, who was able to drain it down.
It just goes to show the type of intensity and effort that this Inferno squad is playing with. In the final minute, even down by a large deficit, still playing the same way they played at the start of this game. Braggs looking for that steal, looking for that work as Nickerson gets that one to go. But even now, Braggs is pushing the ball up the floor at a high speed and pulls a deep three with plenty of time. And that's going to go off the foot of Nickerson and stay there for the Inferno. But some really good intensity from the Inferno and Braggs specifically.
Yeah, she's had a great night, 30 points. And there's really been the catalyst for their offense, 16 boards as well. And, they have definitely battled tonight for sure. And they just don't have a lot of depth on the bench. So you kind of had to play a lot of your players for long minutes. So they definitely are fatigued. But you have to commend them for the fact that they came out, battled, and they're still giving effort even with the final seconds of this game.
Absolutely. The intensity still at an all-time high as the clock winds down for a last-minute shot, and the foul on the shot. Alina Paul fouling Binford at the buzzer. So we're going to see 3 free throws here. They're going to double check. It looks like they're going to put 0.3 up on the game clock. So 2 shots here for Binford. A little bit of confusion here. Everybody thought that it was as the time had completely expired, so no Cougars had to be at the line, but instead, a couple tenths of a second on the clock, so Binford here for some free throws. Misses the first. Misses the second. Only 2 free throws, excuse me. Must have been a deep 2, but regardless, at the end of 40 minutes, CUC 86, Alverno 41. A great win here for this CUC squad. An even more special win on senior day, and an even more special win when you have a program record completely broken. A great all-around performance from CUC across the board.
Yeah, it was really fun watching them to play today. They just came out with, that energy and really good composure. Really seemed very disciplined today. We're not turning the ball over as much, and we're capitalizing on the mistakes that Alverno was providing them. They were able to score 31 points off turnovers, which is huge, and just really able to control the paint tonight as well. Just getting 60 points in the paint, being able to push the ball inside, and then be able to spread the floor around as well, as they had 25 assists, which is probably one of the best numbers that you'll see all day, as they were able to just share the love, share the wealth, and of course, highlighted by Allison McGregor's record-breaking day today. It was a really fun game to watch, and should be a really good stepping stone for the Cougars going on forward.
Absolutely. I mean, an all-around performance from the Cougars, but we have to mention Arlasia Braggs for this Inferno squad. A double-double, 30-piece on the points, and just an all-around team effort there, and she really kind of led that team and showed the true epitome of grit there, and the Cougars really combated well, and it's an all-around team win here. But as we get ready to wrap up this broadcast, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that has made this broadcast possible. Jalen Franklin on camera, Garrison on camera as well, Luciana Moran Cruz on camera for us. We've got Tyler Dorsch working the scoreboard, Dave Daimling spotting stats. We've got Emily Lucero on production with Jessica Gang, and running our table, we had Stephen Burke on shot clock, Danielle Burke on scorebook, and the Hall of Famer Jim Egan doing PA for us. Alan, thank you for joining me on this broadcast today. We are obviously under the direction of the fantastic Sydney Lloyd, Graduate Assistant in Athletic Communications, Corey Welch, Assistant Director of Athletic Communications, and I'm Kayla McLeod. I've been on the call all day today, and it's been an honor to be here. But Cougar fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a fantastic post-game interview on this historic day, so stick around for that, and we'll be right back on the Cougar Sports Network.
to get that last rebound. So, like, it's not just for me. I did it for my team because it helps my team in 1,000 different ways.
Absolutely. This isn't the first point record that you've set in your time here. A few years back, you set the single game record for rebounds with 30, which it broke a 30-year-old record and a NAC record. So, breaking records is something that you seem to be doing quite a bit around here. So, thinking back to what you felt when you first broke the record for single game.
I mean, honestly, breaking the record is exciting. I think after breaking this, it was just like, my gosh, I did it. Because, like, after that record, I had set I have this many to get. And, like, before the season, I was like, okay, I need 149 rebounds to break it. And I was like, okay, I can do this. And then it just came down to actually doing it. It was like, moments of like, can I do it? And then it's like, everybody, you can do it. So,
well, you guys had a standout performance today. Everybody kind of doing their part. You guys saw a ton of bench points. Your bench was doing everything you needed to do today to, first of all, get you in the positions that you needed to do to break the record.
it's been a lot about, we talked about trust a lot and to trust each other. Like, maybe we miss a layup. That's okay. You got the next one. And I think we hit the point where we finally have trusted each other enough. Like, I'll get the ball to you, and I've learned how we like the ball inside and when to pass it and when to not. And I think we've just grown a lot since the beginning in that in itself.
Absolutely. Well, again, I'm going to re-ask the question essentially, but I've never seen anything like it in my time here at CUC. The game stopped, your teammates stormed the court, you've got the game ball with you here that was written on the moment that it happened. What is that kind of like? Because you've been with a lot of these teams for quite a few years now, and you've seen some of these younger kids learn from you, and you've had some people that you've been on this whole journey with. So what is it like to have your teammates quite literally storm the court for you?
Honestly, amazing. I don't think there's a word that can actually describe it besides that, like, I didn't know what to feel at the moment. I was like, there's no way this is happening right now. And it all came down to it. My teammates were like, here was, you have this many more. And then just hearing them every single rebound again, this many more and this many more. It's just amazing to know, like, my teammates wanted this for me just as much as I wanted it for myself.
Absolutely. Well, Cougar fans, a big win here against Alverno, 86-61. The Cougars will be back in action on Monday.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.